Hey guys, my name is Logan, or Cream Tag, and today I'm with Jet and his 1986 BMW 535i. Beautiful car, and we're gonna really dive into it and all the little details and things about this car and what makes it really cool. So this gorgeous machine from factory has a 3.5 liter inline six that makes 215 horsepower. This rear-wheel drive car is like phenomenal for its time and the kind of era of cars that it came out of. It's very kind of typical for Euro cars to be all about performance and luxury, but this one really shows that that was a major focus in BMW in the 80s. All right, so Jet is gonna give us a little walk around of the car, and he's gonna kind of show us what he's done, little details here and there, and just kind of go over the car itself.
This is my 1986 535i. Her name's Dory. She's blue, forgets how to work all the time. Not really the most reliable car, but I love her. Started off pretty fast after I bought it. I put BMW E34 front brakes on it, so bigger discs, bigger rotors, redone paint stuff. It is a USA Canada spec, so it has American front bumpers. So these push in if you get in an accident, protect you. They look like diving boards, the ugliest things really underneath the sun. You could eat a dinner off of it, they're so big. But got the BMW BBS Style 5 rims on it, full baskets, killer wheels on these. Just fits it perfectly. Otherwise, stock outside. Here she is, BMW 3.5 liter inline, 6-cylinder. It's actually got a little arrow on this so you know where to pop your hood, which is killer. Otherwise, stock internals, stock engine. Just did an oil change on it. It is fitted with cruise control, which is for an 86 killer. Got a little cruise control module. Does not work, but it's kind of like most things in the car. Also has an AC compressor. Surprise, surprise, does not work. She kills. She comes out to go fast and pretend to be fast. Otherwise, completely stock.
So this car, as he had mentioned, I mean, there's a few things here and there that may not work anymore, but again, for a 36 or 37-year-old car, it is in great shape. It runs and drives very well. And it doesn't really give any problems. I mean, there's been minor fixes here and there.
Yeah, minor fixes, stuff that just kind of comes up.
But same thing that you would get even with a new vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So this car is in great shape, apart from, maybe the AC and the cruise control not working, but overall this is really an amazing vehicle and has really stood the stress of time. So as you guys can see in this engine bay, this is the 3.5 liter inline six that BMW made, and it's massive. But if you really look around at everything that's kind of going on here, there really isn't much, which is probably part of why this car has stood up so well. There really isn't much going on. It's very simple, which is great for, a car being a bit more reliable. And if you really look in here, there's tons of room. The engine is massive, right? It goes all the way back and it's quite large. However, there's still clearly quite a bit of room to play around in and work with in here. So I'm assuming that working on this car won't be too big of a difficulty. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but
it is dead easy. Everything's right there. There's no plastic pieces. And for any of you BMW fanboys, this is the M30 B34 So it's top tier besides for the M5, fastest E28, not the M5 though.
Truly is a magnificent car. All right, so take us through the interior.
All right, so I got a pretty stock interior. Replaced the steering wheel with a BMW M-Tech 1 I got off Kijiji. Did a little refinish, otherwise it's in pretty great shape. I've got the tan interior with the manual seats, no automatic seats unfortunately. It's a 4-speed automatic for now. I've got a 5-speed waiting to come. Just replaced the head unit with a Kenwood Bluetooth stereo, which is fantastic. It's got about 200,000, 260 kilometers, somewhere in there. She's humming along.
So she's quite high mileage. She's an old car, but she still runs and drives great.
Yeah, she's perfect. Most of the time.
She doesn't really properly follow kind of the stereotypes of BMW crapping out after 200,000.
Yeah, she'll just keep humming along. I could probably take her about an hour and a half away at any point in time, but I don't want to push it.
All right, so sitting in this car, it is super comfortable, and there's a lot of really cool little features. It really is a luxury car, as you can tell. It was clearly made as a luxury like sports car, and it fit that bill 100%. So I'll kind of take you around some of the little features that are inside the car that are really interesting.
So we've got all the window switches up in the middle here instead of on your doors. Smack in the middle. I've got a child lock in the back, but these still operate if child lock's on or off. And actually this button right here locks all the windows out and the sunroof out, so nothing works. You got a sport button, or you go manual mode. Sport button just holds the shift longer, or you can go to manual mode. You got your regular old switches to open and close your vents, no knobs. So this is cranked open, you can have it half open, however you want.
I don't know if that's just like because I've been used to like Japanese cars, but I've never actually seen this kind of mechanism in a car before. So I actually didn't even know what it was when I first saw it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm really liking this steering wheel. Steering wheel is super cool. It is like very like comfortable. It's a good size, and I mean it's classic. It looks great. You said it's from an M-Tech, right?
Yeah, so it's from an M-Tech. So the M5s have these steering wheels, and some E30s, I believe, have some steering wheels of this. And I found it for super cheap. Normally they're $500 or $600. I got it for $250. Put a little refinish on it and fit on perfect.
Just this whole dash, everything about this, the gauge cluster, everything's kind of pointed towards the driver, and it's very cool. I don't even know how to describe just the look of the gauge cluster, but I love it. I love how it looks. It's very clear. It's the white on black maybe.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying like just the look of this. Yeah, it really is a beautiful car, a nice interior, and personally, I'm not normally a huge fan of tan interior.
It's not my favorite. Like, I wouldn't go for a tan interior, but then I bought it and I was like, actually?
Exactly. Sitting in this and like seeing it, and the combination of the tan with the black, it really fits the era for starters.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking it. It's grown on me like really quickly. Yeah, the interior looks and is in great shape.
Front seats are actually heated on this. You got 2 different heat settings. You can have hot or burn your butt off hot, and it works. So you can just pop these little switches down here and you got your heated seats. Yeah, that's great. Heated seats. I've never had heated seats in a car. I thought that my Subaru was like super flashy and cool because it had like auto climate control, and that was a new thing for me, and like just power seats and some of these other things. But heated seats, that's like for a car this old, that's quite incredible. Really cool. This was like peak of the time, driver orientated, high-tech technology, but still simple in their design so that you could get in at any point and just drive her away. Yeah, really is a great car, and we were kind of talking about it, and this car handles and drives exactly how you would expect it to. It really fulfills the kind of the BMW stereotypes. And how did you describe it? It's kind of like if you put your foot into it in a corner, it's going to take that corner normally pretty well. But it's just like floating on a cloud. Like when you drive, it feels like a cloud that you're driving on, and it's just like, it's just perfect. It's nice and smooth. It's not super bouncy. It's like the luxury car you can get in '86. I think it's killer.
One thing that I really find important whenever I buy cars or refer cars to people is it reliable? And this car, it's a BMW, which already off the bat should tell you that it wouldn't be reliable. This car's an 86, so it's not only it's a BMW, it's old and it's high mileage, but this thing runs and drives great.
Yeah.
It doesn't give any problems. Nothing big has come up. Do you know what are some of like maybe the common issues people will have?
Obviously rust is a huge thing.
Yeah, rust. I mean, that's a big thing on a lot of older cars too, though.
Oh yeah, and it's a Canada car. It's an Alberta car, so it's gonna have rust. Can't really get around that. Electronics, little like electronic gremlins. Those guys are popular.
Yeah, it makes sense that like on an older car, it would be common for them to have wiring issues. I mean, even something as simple as just wires getting old and breaking.
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes those can be super easy to chase down, and other times it can be a royal pain because you got to take your whole wiring harness apart and look at everything and go really into detail and try and figure out what it is. And sometimes you won't even be successful. But I mean, you haven't run into that yet.
I haven't, fortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, this car is great. I mean, it handles great.
Handles great. Runs great most of the time.
And it drives beautifully. It's super comfortable. The interior is really nice.
It's like sitting on a couch.
It really is. That's probably the best way to describe how it feels to sit in this car. Is it's like sitting on a couch. I feel like this is very much so a car that you could take on a long road trip.
Yeah.
Whether or not that would be a good idea because of the age of the vehicle and it being a high mileage BMW, that's a different story. But in terms of its comfort level, absolutely.
It's a killer car, and it is a head turner. Young kids, old guys, anyone's gonna look at this car, and it's just beautiful to drive.
It's actually a really great way I'd feel to describe this car is anybody will think it's cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you'll get little kids, they're like, oh, look at that cool little car. You'll get car enthusiasts. Like, I mean, you gotta be crazy to not think this car is cool.
Yeah, well, and they're so uncommon to come by, even if you're not die for it. You're like, oh man, like what is that? A BMW? No way.
Yeah. So really, and then of course your old heads are gonna think this is really cool. Now you may have some like die-hard muscle heads that may, but at the same time it is still very much so a classic. Yeah. In every respect. It was kind of similar with my Supra, my Mark II Supra I had that turned the heads of, I mean, little kids, had cool pop-ups, turned the heads of car enthusiasts because it's like Japanese car enthusiasts because it's a Supra, you know? Supra's a Supra. And then of course, it really was, it was Japanese muscle, I think is a really great way to describe it. So even dudes who were like really into like American muscle cars thought that it was cool.
I wouldn't sell it at all. It's just a fantastic car to own. So.
Yeah, really great. So yeah, that's it for today. I really thank you guys for watching. I hope this kind of was an interesting video. Maybe showed you a car maybe you didn't really know much about, and I hope that it was interesting to you. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell. I post every Sunday, so be sure that you're watching out for that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.